Singh Bhullar. My brother, Devinderpal Singh Bhullar, been falsely accused for bombing in India, and he been in jail like 16 years. And my father and my uncle already has been killed for illegal custody by Indian police. And I don't want them to kill my brother, and because we lost so many family members already, and I want UN to intervene and save my brother's life.
गैर कानूनी हिरासत च रख के टॉर्चर करके उस तो बाद सिलसिला शुरू होता है उन्होंने परिवार दे, और उन्होंने परिवार का मसला सिर्फ प्रोफैसर भुल्लर का मसला नहीं है। प्रोफैसर भुल्लर के पिछे 1 लाख तो वध सिखां का खून का मसला है। आप इत्थे प्रोफैसर भुल्लर के रिहाई लई इकल्ले इकट्ठे नहीं होए, आप दुनिया की उस अदालत नूं यूनाइटेड नेशनस नूं दसना है कि गैर कानूनी तौर पर हज़ारां का कतल करन तो बाद कानून की हिरासत विच रख के सिखां नूं कतल करता जाता है।
My name is Jeffrey Deskovic, and I'm a criminal justice advocate. I've given many lectures on wrongful convictions and the death penalty across the country. I've lobbied many elected officials here in New York and Connecticut. I've written articles, and I've given many interviews. My motivation is that I spent 16 years in prison here in the United States in New York for a murder and a rape which I was innocent of. My wrongful conviction occurred when I was at the age of 17, based largely in part on a coerced false confession. I'm here today because of the similarities between Professor Bhullar's case and mine. My wrongful conviction was based, as I mentioned, on a coerced false confession, and Professor Bhullar's they coerced him into signing 2 blank pieces of paper. Like Professor Bhullar, I had no other evidence linking me to the crime. This is another similarity. There's no external evidence. Furthermore, all of my appeals were turned down despite compelling reasons of justice why it should have been granted. The same has been true for Professor Bhullar. He's been detained for 16 years to this date. I was incarcerated wrongfully for 16 years. I call on the United Nations to act according to the resolution 62/149 and demand and insist that the government of India not only commute Professor Bhullar's death sentence, but also that they release him immediately.
Hello, my name is Lawrence Hayes. I'm a former death row prisoner, former member of the Black Panther Party, and I'm the co-chairman and founding member of the campaign to end the death penalty. This case came to my attention through Mr. Solomon, and I read some of the facts involved. I mean, we are witnessing a parallel injustice almost throughout the world. I don't know how many of you, have heard of the Troy Davis case, but Professor Bhullar's case falls in parallel with that here in the United States. This man never received evidence that was collected during his during the investigation stages of his case, which is constitutionally his right. Professor Bhullar, in the same sense, they obtained a confession from this man without a lawyer present, and a confession that later on he said he did not sign, and and also the confession was not collaborated by other witnesses, eyewitnesses, to put him on the scene. This kind of parallel is tantamount to injustice. Injustice here in America for Troy Davis, injustice in India for Professor Bhullar. I say to you, I mean, we need to join forces, you there, us here, and bring these cases to the attention of everybody that we possibly can.
I work with Westpac Foundation. We're based in White Plains, New York. We are we support U.S. and international human rights. We join with the many organizations here today that are calling on the United Nations to stop the threat of execution for Professor Bhullar. Time is short. We are here in front of the premier international human rights organization in the world asking for social and human justice. We are greatly concerned by the reports from legal authorities and human rights organizations that have investigated this case. We are especially concerned, as Lawrence mentioned, by the definitive indications that Professor Bhullar did not receive a fair trial and was found guilty solely on the basis of an unsubstantiated confession he made in police custody under duress of mistreatment and torture. Since that unfair trial forms the basis for the criminal penalty that is being administered to him, that penalty could not be just in this case. And as Lawrence mentioned, in our country, he would get a new trial. We don't know exactly how the law works in India. We call on India to reconsider its position to stop the threat of execution. We also call on the United Nations to investigate this case. As they've said in their own resolution, the death penalty undermines human dignity. We call on the United Nations to be consistent with its own rules and to put pressure on the government of India to back off on this execution. As Reverend Martin Luther King has said, a civil rights and social justice campaigner in our country, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
What do we need? America! UNO! UNO!